Hi, I'm Ric Burnley, editor of Kayak Angler Magazine, and I'm here today with the Evoke Sequoia 120. I saw this boat for the first time at Paddle Sports Retailer Trade Show this summer, and I was intrigued immediately just because of the design of the boat and how I could, see it was a hybrid between a kayak and a stand-up paddleboard, and so I was interested to find out more. And a few months later, they delivered one here to the Kayak Angler Man Cave, and we got to get it out on the water and do some testing on it. And found it to be pretty cool for what it is. I mean, it's first of all, it's a great value. It's only $1,000, and you can get them all over the place at your local box stores and everything else. So they're readily available. And what's unique about this design is it's a hybrid, like I said, a hybrid between kind of a stand-up paddleboard and a kayak. As you can see, it's made out of rotomolded plastic, like a kayak would be made out of, but it's got this completely flat deck and a completely flat hull, pretty much like a stand-up paddleboard would have. And what that allows you to do is paddle it like a kayak when you're traveling some distance, and then stand up and fish on it like it was a paddleboard when you get there. So starting off with the hull, like I said, it's pretty flat, but there are channels down the edges that improve tracking and help the board keep from being, or the boat from being blown in the wind as much as it would as a stand-up paddleboard would, especially for it being this boat being 14 inches high. And but then on the top you've got some of the amenities of a stand-up paddleboard, like the flat deck and open deck from bow to stern. But you also have some of the amenities of a kayak, like you can see hatches in the bow and the stern too. So kind of again, best of both worlds, and that's what it really performs the best as. Both a fishing boat, kayak, and a stand-up paddleboard. Some of the cool details on this boat we liked were the horizontal rod holders. You can see there's rod tip protectors here, and then these C clamps or C holders here, hold the rod butt. Bungee in the front. This square hatch here that gives access to the hull of the kayak. It also has a sock in it, so you can store small gear there. Stand-up paddleboard's got to have a stand-up assist strap with a measuring stick on there too, so that's kind of handy. Again, just like a kayak, it's got foot pegs, for you to brace against as you paddle. Even in a sit-and-top kayak, you still use your foot pegs to brace as you paddle and give yourself more power. Paddle holder's kind of cool. It's integrated into the right next to the handle on the side there, so it doesn't get out in the way, but holds the paddle pretty steadily. And pretty nice seat here. We're impressed with it. It's padded, so it's pretty comfortable, and it goes from a high position to a low position relatively easily, and then back to a high position. Pretty easy to operate on the water. Moving back, flush mount rod holders, that's what makes it a fishing kayak. And then you can see that they installed these gear tracks, smaller ones up here in the cockpit, and then these larger ones back here, maybe to secure your crate or what have you. And then another square hatch in the back with a sock that holds gear, and a hatch cover in the stern here to just kind of keep your stuff in place. And there's even a pocket in the cover, for smaller items and stuff. So good utilitarian kayak. If you're thinking about adding a second boat to the fleet or getting one for when friends come, or down at the cabin or what have you, this would be a good choice. Again, like I said, it's cool because it's easy to use and super stable, of course, but paddles pretty well, and again, easy to stand up on. Take the seat out and operate it like a stand-up paddleboard. Put a cooler in the middle of it here that you even stand on and fish from, really use it as both kinds of craft all in one, and I think you'd be pretty pleased with it. Anyway, this is the Evoke 120, and I'm Ric Burnley from Kayak Angler Magazine, and you're hooked up.